My.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Miriam Nababi, and I use the pronouns she, her, hers. I'm with the Equity and Inclusion Office at the University of British Columbia, which is home to the Hunkaminam-speaking Musqueam peoples. Today's event is the first of a four-part series titled Black Artistic Expressions in BC. It goes without saying that there's limited spatial and political representation of Black identity in BC. And this series puts a focus on the nevertheless vibrant presence of Black art and culture across Metro Vancouver. This series will engage audiences through fun, through joy, while also spotlighting and celebrating resilience and activism that bears witness to what it means to be Black in BC. And I think today's artists will really highlight that for us. This series is a community university collaboration developed in partnership between local Black artists and IBPOC Connections staff and faculty and the Center for Culture, Identity, and Education at the University of British Columbia. Events are hosted by Indy Cascade and will feature a live performance followed by moderated Q&A with the artist. Before I turn it over to Indy, I'd like to welcome Adiria Johnson, who's a doctoral student at the University of British Columbia, to open our session with a land acknowledgement.
All right, sorry about that. So good evening, and again, welcome to Black Artistic Expressions in BC, which today we present Marcus Mosely. Again, my name is Adiria Johnson, and I am a second-year PhD student in the Gender, Race, Sexuality, and Social Justice Department here at UBC, studying hip-hop feminism and Southern American hip-hop culture. And again, I'm really happy to be here with y'all this evening as we kind of journey through this range of Black artistic expressions here at BC in Canada. And so I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land in which we gather is the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, which includes the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And so what I like to do with a lot of my land acknowledgements is to kind of highlight the lives that have been lost due to settler colonialism, and also to recognize the thousands of lives lost this year to COVID-19. And so with that, I would like for us to take a moment of silence to reflect on those near and far who we have lost and want to remember. Thank you.
All right. So my name is Indy Cascade. I am Nigerian, Italian, Irish hip hop music from Vancouver, British Columbia. I have been in the hip hop scene here in Vancouver for over 23 years. I am heavily involved in youth work and the movement. And it is an honor to have been asked to host and co-curate this series. And I just want to give thanks to everyone who helped to make this happen. And it is my pleasure to introduce the legendary who will be joining us today, accompanied by Bill Sample, to perform and bring that soul into our hearts. So I'm super excited about that. Now, a little bit about Marcus. So he's originally from Ralls, Texas, and he grew up immersed in gospel music and tradition. He moved to Vancouver in 1985, and he became a Canadian citizen in 2008. In 2016, he was inducted into the BC Entertainment Hall of Fame. This man has traveled globally and performed globally. So we are super excited that he is here with us. Over to you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. It's great to be here. In times like these, we need to be strong. We need to carry on. We need to get along, hold on, and right was wrong. In times like these, we need to find a way to make a better day. Keep our feet on the ground, turn it around to come what may. Everybody needs someone they can lean on. Everybody needs to lean on someone. Everybody needs someone they can lean on. Everybody needs to lean on someone now. In times like these, there's no way not to care. There's no one anywhere who doesn't feel it in their hearts. We've got to make a new start. In times like these, let the world understand. Together, hand in hand, every woman, child, man, united we stand. Everybody needs someone they can lean on. Everybody needs to lean on someone. Everybody needs someone they can lean on. Everybody needs to lean on someone. Everybody needs something. Everybody needs someone. Everybody has a friend of a friend who knew a friend of a friend who's got a friend of a friend. Everybody needs something. Everybody needs someone. Everybody has a friend of a friend who knew a friend of a friend who's got a friend of a friend. Everybody needs something. Everybody needs someone. Everybody has a friend of a friend who knew a friend of a friend who's got a friend of a friend. Everybody needs something. Everybody needs someone. Everybody has a friend of a friend who knew a friend of a friend who's got a friend of a friend. You know I need you. I need to lean on you sometime. Friend of a friend who knew a friend of a friend who's got a friend of a friend. Wow, Mr. Bill. That was a song that was recorded by Mavis Staples. I really, as soon as I heard it, I felt connected to it. I think it's an important message that we need right now in the world. There's so many voices out there that are trying to divide us and who are banking on division and pain. And so I want to encourage, as you said, this resilience and about connection. So I'm hoping that that message goes out. Song I'd like to do for you is one that I wrote a number of years ago. It's actually on my newest CD. And it was inspired, first of all, We lost one of my heroes a number of years ago, Luther Vandross, an amazing singer. And a friend of mine, his name is Dave Neal. He makes beats for hip hop artists, and he created this beat. And I was listening to it, and these words and this song came out of it. It's called "You Need Love." As I was in my quiet place, that well of hope deep down inside my heart, I heard a word. It was so sweet and clear, it spoke to me of how our lives are meant to be. Well, I'd heard these words before, but this time, like an open door, I walked through, and this time I knew that I have, and you have, and I want, and you want, and I need, and you need love, 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 love. Someone asked the question that if God was truly love, why was there so much pain? So much pain. Well, it ain't no mystery that we are one big family conceived in love. But we've lost our way home. Why did we roam so far? Because I have and you have, and I want and you want, and I need, and you need love, 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 love. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. Whoa, things are what they're supposed to be. Just listen to your heartbeat to find the things your heart seeks, to find our way home. All because I have and you have, and I want and you want, and I need, and you need love, 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 love. I have it, and you have it, and I want it, and you want it. I need it, and you need love, love, love. I have it, and you have it, and I want it, and you want it. I need it, and you need love, 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 love. Hey, you need love, and I need love, love, yeah, you need love, you need love. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Can I get a quick drink? All right. The next song is one that I learned from my good friend, many of you may know him, Kari McClelland. We were doing a workshop together and he taught this song to the group. And evidently the song comes from the people who were working to help rebuild Katrina after the levees failed. And people were there cleaning away the debris and helping to, putting their energies together to help try to rebuild some kind of semblance of life and normalcy. And so as they were working, this chant basically became popular. So, and I think that it's kind of a prayer. I'll let the song speak for itself, but it's just basically a chant. It's called, I Want to Let Life Move Me. Stir me deep. I wanna let life wake me from this ancient sleep. I wanna laugh all my laughter. I wanna cry all my tears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it clears. I wanna let life move me. I wanna let life stir me deep. I wanna let life wake me from this ancient sleep. I wanna laugh all my laughter. I wanna cry all my tears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it bleeds. I wanna let life move me. I wanna let life stir me deep. I wanna let life wake me from this ancient sleep. I wanna laugh all my laughter. I wanna cry all my tears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it gleams. I wanna let life move me. I wanna let life stir me deep. I wanna let life wake me from this ancient sleep. I wanna laugh all my laughter. I wanna cry all my tears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it clears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it clears. I wanna love the rain as deeply as the sun when it clears. Whew. All right. The next song, I need to talk to catch my breath a bit. The next song was inspired by a song by Tracy Chapman called Behind the Wall. That song was written to speak out against domestic violence, against spousal abuse. The name of the song is No More. And it does still, the name of the song that I wrote in response to it is called No More. And it still does focus basically on domestic violence. But I think the sentiment of the song, the heart of the song is about taking action and saying, I am no longer going to play the victim. I am no longer going to be at the mercy of those who would dominate and hurt me. So I think it really does fit what's going on now, where we can say with the Black Lives Movement, with those who are saying that we need to stop police brutality, we need to overthrow, to stop all the money going to build militarized police systems and start reallocating that money toward the community and toward ways that can actually help mitigate the problems that are going on in our communities, rather than exasperating them by just beating people and housing them in incarceration. So this song is called No More. Last night I heard screaming, then a silence that chilled my soul. I prayed that I was dreaming, oh, as I saw the ambulance in the road, and the policeman said, we're here to keep the peace. With the crowd dispersed, I think we all could use some sleep. Last night I heard screaming, loud voices behind the wall. It's another sleepless night for me. It won't do no good to call the police. They always come late. They always come late. They always come late. If they come at all. Spirit, make freedom my goal. I'm gonna take back Amen.
Amen.
As Indy mentioned, I've sung with, traveled with, loved and fought with a group of a couple of men by the name of Kari McClelland and Will Sanders, and we have made up the group, the Sojourners. And this is a song that I normally have my buddies with me to sing with me, but I just really felt like it was appropriate for now. It's an old song called "Oh Freedom." Before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. I love this song for a number of reasons. It connects me to the old way, way back when, the early days of the civil rights movement. Although it predates the civil rights movement, the modern day civil rights movement. And it connects me with people like John Lewis, and back in the day when I lived in California, people like Stokely Carmichael and Bobby Seale and all of those freedom fighters, Angela Davis and others. But it takes me way back. And it's that defiance that I will be free, free or die. So, may I have a G, please? I think that fits me. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Whoa, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping, no more weeping, no more weeping over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. They'll be singing. They'll be singing. They'll be singing over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Because this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. let it shine, let it shine. Okay. One more song for you. It was it written by, I think I've been given the cue. A couple of those songs that I sang were on my newest CD, which is called Labor of Love, produced by Mr. Bill. He played piano on it and did most of the arranging and all of that. So you can pick it up on Bandcamp under Marcus Mosely, Labor of Love, or you can Facebook me a message and I'll mail it to you, whichever way works best for you. I want to say thank you to Bill for hosting, for letting us use his basement, and for playing and making this whole thing possible. Thank you, sir. My pleasure. So this last song I want to do for you is one that I think Eric Bibb wrote it, and it's a blues. I call it sort of a gospel blues, and it's one I want you to take with you. Normally, if you were sitting in an audience in a theater, I would say take this one home with you, but you're probably already at home. So, so the song is called "Don't Ever Let Nobody Drag Your Spirit Down." Slip, you know you might slide, stumble and fall by the roadside, but don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down. Remember, we're walking up to heaven, don't let nobody turn you around. Walk with the rich and talk with the poor. Learn from everybody, that's what life is for. But don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down. Remember, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you around. Now, some say yes and some say no. Some people wait to see which way the wind's gonna blow. But don't ever let nobody drag your spirit down. Remember, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you around. Thank you. Where is my host? Indeedy, there you are.
Woo! Yes. Thank you for igniting my spirit, Marcus Mosely.
Hey, I did my job. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, as well. That was so incredible. So incredible. And I'm sure, I mean, I was watching some of the chats and I even heard some people singing along.
Oh, yay.
That was so special. And I was just thinking to myself as you were performing that, you know, there are a lot of artists in this world, but when an artist speaks from such a pure place, it's such a blessing and it's so healing. So I really appreciate that. And I really feel the purity of your heart, and I always have. And I feel really honored to be here with you and have you in the series with us, Marcus.
Bless you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it.
So we have a few questions drafted up for you, if you wouldn't mind answering. We'll have a little bit of I'm sure folks love to hear about the development of your talent and profession over the years. How did you get started, and how has your work evolved over time?
Well, many people who've heard me over the years perform, I always speak of my mother, because as a child, my earliest memories were of her singing, not professionally, just always around the house. I was born, as you said, in Texas, and this was back in 1952. So that was still when Jim Crow laws were in effect. Segregation was the law of the land. And so, like, when my mother would take me everywhere where she would go work, she used to clean homes for white folks. And also we worked out in the fields, cotton fields, literally. And she always had a song on her lips. She always had some, and it was always a gospel tune. And as I observed and learned by her example, later on, I mean, as a child, I just sort of thought, well, that's mama. But as I grew and began to experience the cruelty in the world and began to see and really understand what was going on, I realized that what she was doing was staying connected with her center, with her core, with that thing which gives her the power to, when she needed to hold her peace for the sake of saving our lives, when she would be confronted by racist people saying awful things to her, that singing, that song kept her in peace, inner peace, and she was able to. So I started learning to do that myself, and to be honest as well, I think I was probably in my early preteens before I realized that the outside world was not privy to the music that was going on in my head, because it was nothing for me just to break into song wherever I was. So I've been singing basically since I fell off the cabbage truck. And I've been fortunate that people have liked it and have encouraged me, and it's opened doors for me, as you say, to sing around the world in places that, as a kid living on a sharecropper's farm in Texas, I never imagined some of the places that I've been able to go and sing and perform.
I love the way that you mentioned that your mother was connected her center was connected almost in a divine golden place, connected to the source.
Totally.
And I feel like, you know, it is so true how music heals, and actually music saves lives. I feel like music has saved my life, for example, and I'm sure that, yes. And I know in the world of hip hop music in particular saved the lives of many young people of color living under oppression. And that's why I work with youth, and I really try my best to expose them to the roots of hip hop and the intergenerational connections there. So for me, as a hip hop artist, to connect with yourself and to be inspired by the spirituals that you sing, you know, that is connects me to the youth, and that is the golden thread in which we speak. And that is so beautiful.
Absolutely, because music, when you're doing music, if you want to speak in terms of energy work, You are sending out this energy into the world, and hopefully people will begin to resonate and vibrate at those same levels and begin to consider, because oftentimes we've got our heads so full of arguments and false understandings, but there's something that's pure about music. Not just what, and it doesn't matter, gospel music, classical music, there's all kinds of music, but it cuts through those intellectual bridges that we often have up, and they speak to that deeper part of us and remind us of our humanity. Maybe they inspire us to have some empathy and some compassion for each other.
100%. Music will save us all.
Yes.
So obviously, we were just saying that music does not just entertain, and it also teaches and addresses issues. And are there ways in which you think your music and work are part of activism and educating folks about issues? How does your music connect to activism and education?
Well, one of the ways that I do that and have done it with my friend Bill and with many others is, well, I always speak out. Like during a concert, I will always take time to speak to those things which are current. But the bottom line, I'm always speaking to people to get in touch with their inner, with their humanity, with their center, with their spirit. And, you know, I sing in a lot of churches. I mean, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not necessarily a religionist, but I'm a spiritual person. So I'll go wherever they will invite me to go. I don't care what the denomination. But I speak to those issues, and I think that one of the things that we, like Bill and I have done is we've done, and Darlene have done gospel choral workshops, for example. There's a lot of people who have this fantasy in their head. They would love to sing in a gospel choir because they sense the energy and they sense the power of it. And so we go around and we conduct these workshops. And during those workshops, I use gospel music as the core, and I teach about where it came from slavery to present day. And I show that the power of it is that it, like with my mom, it was the thing which gave people power, which gave people that sense of, I can make it through this hard time, that there's nothing so great that I can't overcome it. And I remember during the civil rights movement back in the 50s and 60s, when we were getting ready to go out and march and protest, we would meet in the church. I mean, it was brilliant that Dr. King started it in the church, because that was the core of the Black community. And we would always sing a lot of these, I shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water, that to instill in our spirits that we were strong, that we could make it. And then we would go out and face whatever was there. And I think that was a very powerful core of it. So that's one of the ways in which I use this music for activism.
Right. And talking about being a spiritual person, I really resonate with that. I grew up under a religion, but I always felt wrong to be disconnected to other people that follow other religions.
Yes.
And so I totally feel you on that. And that's why I speak of this golden thread. I like to call it the golden thread, which it's the truth found within all religions, or almost all religions, right? That connection to something greater than yourself.
Absolutely.
And the connection. And so this is the thing, the politics of religion, I have issue with the politics behind some of these religions, because it can disconnect you from other people. So I feel like if you're connecting with other people and using the golden thread, which is found within your music, you know, especially, right? That is a really healing way to connect, and it's a really healthy way to stay connected within activism and education, and using music for that. So we're living in a crazy time, 2020.
Oh gosh, yes.
You know, but you know, we've had these crazy ups and downs throughout history, and you know, the murder of George Floyd.
Oh yeah.
And Ahmaud Arbery.
And
do you feel like these events have affected your creative process at all, your music at all?
Yes, because our spirits are the repository of our emotional experience. Well, you can't hear a man crying out for his mother while someone has their knee on his neck and not be affected by it. And gospel music in particular for me, I mean, it's like the blues. It is a way of expressing, putting into sound the emotions that you feel when you think about, or when you let the reality of that act resonate in your head. When you let yourself go to that place, you have to do something with it. And so whenever I sing, one of my heroes, or sheroes, I should say, Maya Angelou, she oftentimes would say, there are lots of people traveling with me. I have a lot of people around me as I stand, as I sing, as I speak. And I call on these individuals, these spirits, these people who have gone before my ancestors, those who have lived through this for centuries now. And I ask that they inhabit what I sing and what I say, that hopefully it will help to move us just a little bit closer to that goal of justice and equality and of true humanity.
I truly feel ancestors working through us, Marcus.
Yes.
I truly feel, and it is part of my Nigerian tradition, to always stay connected and in touch with those who came before us.
Yeah.
And also in the culture of our music, really staying connected to the founders and that original voice and the movement, right?
Yes.
So,
Go ahead.
oh no, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Just a quick thing. The other night, I was watching Trevor Noah, love his show, and he had Jane Fonda on there. And he was, because she's been an activist from way, 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 way back. They called her Hanoi Jane, I think, because during the Vietnam War, she went over. She didn't want to listen to what the media was saying. She went over to Hanoi and to see for herself so she could go back and come back and report. And he asked her, how does she feel about her activism and what were her thoughts on it? And she says, well, back then when I was younger, it was, we wanted results now, and it was like a sprint. We're going to get this done. We're going to get this change now. And then she said that she grew and got a little bit older and more mature and saw more of the world. She realized that some change happens quickly, but some change takes time. And so she said she changed the model in her head, and she said she saw it as a marathon, as a long run. And so that worked for a while, but now in her latter years, and I feel like I'm in that category. I mean, I'm 68 years old. She said, now I see it a little bit differently. I see it as a relay. And I am still active. She was just recently, in the last few months, she's been arrested 5 or 6 times out there protesting. She says, I'm a celebrity, I'm rich, I can get arrested, I don't care, I'm gonna do it because I gotta stand and make change. And so that's sort of one of the ways that I look at it now. I am in that place of passing the baton. I mentioned earlier my hero, John Lewis, and I was so moved by him he's suffering and dying of cancer, and he made a point of going out to Washington, D.C., to the Black Lives Matter Plaza, where that long mural is there, that beautiful mural, and stood there and basically saying, I'm passing the baton. You young folks are the ones who are going to carry on the struggle, carry on the fight. You do it in many ways that he couldn't do. And so I feel that in my heart. I feel passing the baton. And I know that there's still so many people that feel like they have to say all lives matter and all that stuff. But all lives don't matter until Black lives matter, in my opinion. So I'm passing the baton, and I feel like I'm still always learning from the young folks. I can't imagine it's funny for me to hear myself saying the young folks. But you are the ones that are carrying the baton now, carrying the torch now. And I applaud you for all of the courage and the resilience that you're showing as you are out there speaking up, putting your bodies on the line to speak up for justice and speak against inequality and to fight to change society in a way that's more just for everyone.
Amen.
Sorry, I'm a preacher from way back.
No, I know. I'm just like feeling it. Yes, I work with youth, and so I'm I'm immersed in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
And, actually, the reason why I started writing raps or performing was because I felt like I had a calling to relay a message, right? And so I'm sensitive to lyrics and energies of songs, and so I mean, it's obvious that a lot of the trap music, a lot of the trap music, the current hip hop that we're listening to, a lot of the young people are listening to, a lot of it is very, very toxic lyrics, toxic lyrics, right?
Yeah.
And that has always concerned me. But at the same time, I'm also noticing this rise of young activism. And that's giving me so much hope, right? So that I feel like, and after post 2020, this is like the great awakening, I feel.
Yes.
The golden opportunity for us to make a 360, right? Humans were stopped in our tracks with this, first of all, right? All
Yes.
that Black racism is being exposed. White supremacy is being exposed. And people have a choice now. Okay, so I can fight against all of this. And we have a moment to do it. We're stopped in our tracks because of this pandemic. We have a moment to sit and think and watch and notice and make a change. And so this is a time for all of us to become change makers, and it can be overwhelming, I feel. So if we can't do it all, but everybody can do their part. And I feel like you're doing your part by inspiring artists like myself and everyone that is part of this Zoom conference and everyone that you touch with your voice, Marcus. And I really appreciate what you do in your art and your music. And also what you do for Black History Month with the State on Freedom annual event, which you've invited me to take part of in the last few years. I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm hoping that, we don't know what's going to happen with vaccines and all that stuff. So I don't know what Black History Month is going to look like, but I'm certainly got to find a way to continue that tradition. We were coming up on our 10th year, right, Bill? I think so. Yeah, so.
Wow. Well, this series actually is meant to lead up towards Black History Month. So we're on that relay right now. And I love that analogy of the relay, because that's exactly what this is, passing the torch onwards. And so, yes, I'm really excited that you were the headliner for this relay towards Black History Month 2021. Hopefully 2021 will be a better year for all of us.
It will be, damn it.
So before we go, are there any projects that you're working on that you'd like to let us know? And also, do you have any maybe words of encouragement for Black artists in BC?
I'm working presently on a cartoon series. I'm doing voiceover for a cartoon series called ABC with Kenny G. And the character is for preschool kids and it's teaching them their ABCs. And the character is this cat named Kennington or Kenny G. And it's for a company called Big Bad Boo. And so I'm really happy about that because I've never really seen myself as a voiceover actor, but the opportunity came. I actually tried to talk them out of it, but they said no, we want you. They had heard me sing at Canada Day over at the Plaza, and they said we want you. So I thank them for that. And so we're in the studio now doing the recording, and it will be released sometime in the new year. It's based out of Toronto TVO, a television station, and the Knowledge Network. So you'll be able to catch it there. What I will say to young Black artists here in BC. Number one, I would say do the work of the inner work of being clear about who you are and what you are about. Find your voice, find your center, your core, and be true to that no matter what. It may cost you friends, it may cost you opportunities at times, but be true to you and allow yourself. I mentioned Maya Angelou. She was my hero, my shero. When I was a child, she had a show called Back to Africa, which was on a PBS channel. And in that show, she would read poetry, she would sing African songs and so on. But one of the things she talked about, because she would like quote that poem by Langston Hughes, Dream Deferred and Dream Variations. And she taught me to dream. So I encourage you as you do that inner work to dream and allow that dream to surface, to come up, and you manifest that into the world. The opportunities will come. The opportunities to do it wherever you can, but make certain when you do it that you're doing it from your core, that you're not just motivated by money or profit or fame or any of that stuff. That's all fine. I'm not saying that's awful. It's good to get paid. But do it from that core because that's what will make a difference in the world.
Marcus, as you speak, I start to feel a bit emotional. I feel you so deeply. I feel you very deeply on that level of looking within, especially when things seem really chaotic around us and we feel like we're losing a grip on ourselves and our lives and our reality. That the one thing that we can do is go within and fix ourselves and work on ourselves, and magically, things around us will start to improve.
Absolutely. Put the emotion, put the pain, all of that, put it into your art, put it into your expression, and be true to it. Fearlessly true to it. And it'll make a difference.
Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom and your music and your soul and that golden thread with us, Marcus. Really appreciate it. I want to thank you once again for taking part in this series and being our headliner. And I just want, before we go, just to let everyone know that we're going to be doing this every month. It's Heart of the Month, Happy Hour of Power. So happy hour 4:30, 5:30, right? So, happy hour power. Heart of the Month Wednesdays, Black Artistic Expression of musicians in BC. And next month, we will feature the one and only Tanya Aganaba, who is my Nigerian soul sister.
Yay!
Yeah, we're so excited about that.
She's powerful. She's amazing.
She totally is. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. So yeah, much gratitude. Thank you for all your comments in the chats. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Marcus. I know I'm trying to look at different parts of the screen. It's so interesting. We're all pivoting in this new world of the ether webs, right? This is incredible.
Yes.
So my name is Indy Cascade, and I just want to thank the organizers once again for helping to put this series together. And we will see all of you hopefully next month and spread the word. And I believe your contact information, your website for Marcus Mosely will be listed in the chats as well. So stay connected to you, Marcus.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your CD.
Hey.
All right. So I think we are 1 minute away from signing off.